that we're out here.
Yeah, we had mosquitoes the first day.
We did.
Yesterday and the day before, not as bad.
Right. And then today they're out in force.
Yeah, they're back. Good morning, everybody that's watching on our live stream. We're getting rolling.
But they're friendly mosquitoes.
Things have been rolling way early this morning. Very busy activity this morning. When I got here to set up, Brandon and Chelsea were already here.
Wow.
There was a TV news crew already here doing their, what do they call them? Hits.
The stand-ups.
TV hits and stand-ups.
Yeah.
TV hits and stand-ups. Yeah, they were doing all that stuff, finding the great shots where they could do things because they want to show off all this stuff to their viewers and see all the cool stuff that's happening and showcase the KitchenAid Fairway Club, which that, by the way, with Alex Garnishelli that was here, that was a standing room only.
Really?
Yeah, it was all the way out to, because
great.
Almost where we're at is next door to the KitchenAid Fairway Club. It was like all the way out to the little platform over there.
Nice.
So it was a great. I was able to kind of sneak away a bit and kind of stand on the corner and kind of see. And she was having a great time. She was having great conversations with people. So it was pretty cool.
Who was covering your shift while you snuck away from your post?
Oh, I was. The great part about the job that I have is that I can kind of float in this whole entire Pierre, Michigan courtyard because there's people all around that need information.
That's right.
And they need to know about what's going on in the community. And I'm, of course, there to help them.
Have you received any interesting stumping questions yet?
No.
Okay.
Mainly, most stuff is either, and the people that I've had
where's the nearest dance hall or something like that?
No, there was a few people that said, "Where's the nearest par 3?" And I was stumped at first because the resources that we had the course info,
layout.
but not how many pars there are in the area. So we actually were able to look. There was another course map that had the list of all the par 3s, and I was able to find one for him. But nice. I'm still trying to understand where I'm standing, where the course is. Okay, so we have 14 tee box
right
here
in front of us. It's the green thing.
But then how it overlaps.
14 and then 15
17,
and then 16 and then 17 goes over there. Yeah. So this is kind of the east loop.
Right.
And then, as they said, it's in quadrants. And so you get all kinds of different play as you go through here. So you feel like you're in different regions.
It was cool too. As I did talk to some people, because this is a great spot for them to get into the shade and get out of the sun. But they were like, yeah, we're going to jump on the trolley and we're going to check out the beachy course side of the course, the ones that are right by Gene Clock Park. And so yeah, it is cool. And the players say that too. It's like we're in totally different worlds when we jump into different parts of the course.
But we're broadcasting. This is our 4th day broadcasting at the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship. This is day 2 of the golf. Round 2 tees off in probably about 10 minutes or so. And they are, they're battling right now for first and third. It's a tie up at the top at 7 under par. And if you're out here for the golf and you want to see what's happening, the things that we're talking about, it's at the KitchenAid Fairway Club. Just look for the KitchenAid Fairway Club. They increase the number of trolleys to take people to the different setups, attractions that are here at the course outside of the golf itself. And those are running regularly, and they've been pouring off volunteers. I'm sure they've been pouring off spectators as well during the day. But this morning at the KitchenAid Fairway Club, they'll have Chef Nate Brown, a demonstration at the KitchenAid Fairway Club. And then at 1 o'clock, Carla Hall's going to be here. This is the one I've been waiting for. So
you're going to stick around for that?
Yeah, I'll be around. I may have to go back to the station for a little bit, but then I'll come back in.
Okay.
So looking to see if we can get some time with her. I know she's got a lot of commitments. They have some of the culinary kids from students from Lake Michigan College that are going to meet her during that as well. So they'll have a special opportunity with her.
That's cool.
Carla Hall just doing it for our community. Very nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Hey, Sarah.
Yeah, it's so cool to be able to witness some of those and have those kind of fun conversations with those people. And the cool part about it is there's a lot of great local chefs as well. Some maybe are chefs of your favorite local restaurant, as we had that vote yesterday here in the community showcase. So that will be fun to see all that. But what I also like is that this year they on Saturday, I can't see her name, but she is not a chef. This woman is a designer who's designed things in HGTV. So when you come into the KitchenAid Fairway Club, there's a kitchen, there's the working kitchen that has the display and all that stuff. But then on the other side, they have another kitchen, but that's more based off of design and layout. And I think my guess is she'll kind of be floating between of those spaces. Because of course, not only does the kitchen, you need the right function and the right appliances and the great things, but also layout is super important as well.
Yeah, because you like a functional kitchen, right?
Right. Yeah, you want things to turn on and turn off, and you want things to work properly, but the flow is important as well. And maybe you want a bespoke
oh dear, not that again.
Door for your
a custom door.
Custom door. Do they have that? So is that something that I could do on all of the appliances? So these are all the
we had the KitchenAid Senior Brand Manager here yesterday. We
probably should have talked about Anthony. That. We didn't talk about it at all with him, and I'm surprised we didn't.
Yeah, but Jasmine Roth.
Maybe we'll pop over to him. Jasmine Roth, is that designer?
That's who you're looking for. Okay. She's with HGTV.
Yeah.
Host of the show Hidden Potential and Help I Wrecked My House, which I probably should watch more.
So that'll be cool to see that. But then we've got Cheyenne Galbraith is going to be doing through 2:30 from what it looks like. But yeah, good lineup of local and also big celebrity chefs.
Yeah, today at 2:30 we have actually Chef Justin Peruskowitz.
Okay.
He's a recent winner of Guy's Grocery Games, who brings a wealth of
I like that show.
Experience to his demonstration. And he honed his skills at places like Gibson's Restaurant Group. He's currently the executive chef at Sister Lakes Brewing Company and the owner of the Chef's House private dining service.
Nice.
So get some tips from him as well. Cheyenne is actually tomorrow at 2:30. And Jasmine, and then Dave Saylor, who we locally know as the Cheese Lady, is going to be giving a demonstration at 3:30.
I rode on a golf cart with her yesterday.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you get some cheese?
No. Oh. We did ask for some, and she said they would be hot right now because she'd been walking the course. So she's like, "No, I wouldn't have cheese in my bag."
Was she here as a spectator?
She was kind of in between. I think. Okay. I think she was checking out some of the cooking demonstrations or the demos yesterday, as well as some other stuff. And I think she was getting the lay of the land, I think.
And then also if you're out kind of by the Galeen area, Chef Albra Behrens, she's the founder and head chef of Greener Farm and the restaurant service out there. She'll be closing out the weekend Sunday at 11 a.m. at the KitchenAid Fairway Club. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Sunshine.
Let's get back to it here.
Temperatures will top out in the upper 60s near 70. A meteorologist, Carrie Pouge.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Hey, good morning. We are here at the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship on beautiful Harbor Shores, right across the street from North Pier, right on the corner of these two roads that I do not know what those roads are, but they're there. And she is here, and that is Sarah Spoonholtz. She is from the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber, and she's also part of this community showcase that we've been inside of. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. Excited to talk to you about a ton of different things. Okay. We talked to Jerry Price a little bit about the community showcase, but you, I know, have had a huge part of putting this all together. And then also coordinating. You've had to deal with me plus all the other.
Can we
just
just
stop?
stop?
Like a full-time job in itself.
Hang on. Let's just stop for a
there.
moment. If you're listening or watching on our video live stream and you don't know the relationship that happens here, Sarah used to babysit Johnny, and when I say used to,
or
it
my
probably
mom
never
babysat
stopped.
you. I can't remember. I know we've spent pretty much our lives together.
Yeah. So I graduated with one of Johnny's older brothers.
Okay.
Yeah, same grade. So I basically have grown up with them.
Yeah.
All right.
So I've known.
Been teasing me
like
since
say,
I was a child.
Since Johnny was knee high to a grasshopper. Nice kill of the mosquito.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a good
nice kill.
Yeah.
It's because all those kung fu movies he's been watching.
Oh, yeah.
So bad. Sarah, tell us what's going on here.
So out here at the Pure Michigan Championship Courtyard, we have a lot of really cool things that are happening. You can stop by the community showcase portion of it and enter to win an awesome gift basket. So that has multiple hundreds of dollars in value. It's got everything from a night stay at the Inn at Harbor Shores in it to Silver Reach Pizza gift card too. By the way, was our Discover Southwest Michigan winner for yesterday's favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
That's right.
So shout out to David Costas and the amazing crew over at Silver Beach, and actually to all of them. There were so many amazing restaurants, even ones that were not here in St. Joe Benton Harbor, which is very exciting and encouraging. We had places in New Buffalo and Bridgman and South Haven and all the way over into Edwardsburg that were nominated. So that was really cool to see. But the gift basket giveaway goes until 5 o'clock today. We'll be doing that until Sunday. So every day we have one. Today is your favorite craft beverage maker. So I see Watermark is in the lead currently of the people who have stopped by and voted so far. We've also got Silver Harbor Brewing and River St. Joe who are on there. All three are ones too that you can find in the Maker's Trail 19th hole.
Yeah.
If you happen to come out here. But really inside the community showcase, we're highlighting and showing off Southwest Michigan. A lot of people think we're just beaches. We're not. We are the heart of the fruit belt. Second only in terms of agricultural diversity to that of Napa Valley.
Wow.
We also have amazing trails that you can discover here and amazing businesses, of course, and great people. So highlighting that, also located right next to the KitchenAid Fairway Club, which you were talking about it. Deb is going to be out here later this week with the Cheese Lady. Alex Gornishelli yesterday was amazing, as was Brian Maynard from Forte Coffee. So really a fantastic spot. They do have some sampling that KitchenAid is doing. And then directly across the street, you've got North Pier and Hill District. Grab some food, grab a beverage, and come over and hang out and watch some golf back here on the course and just kind of soak in the perfect summer kickoff that is Southwest Michigan.
Now, you had a chance to talk for a brief moment with Alex Gornishelli, and that's the cool part about this is that you see these celebrity chefs in these demos, but most times you get a chance to talk to them for a little bit, and whether they have a book that they sign or you bring something they can sign. But you had a good conversation with her. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I decided back in 2017, 2018 that I was going to go back to college and finish my degree after 15 years. So I told her, I'm like, I need to thank you because there were many nights from like 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., working a full-time job and then working a part-time job on top of it with the radio stations with you guys. I would go home and then I would start studying, and that was what I would have on in the background was Food Network. So that's really where I became an even bigger fan of hers.
Sure.
And she just looks at me and she's like, I appreciate that, but you're the one who did the work. And I'm like, well, true, yes, but you also provided the inspiration and the motivation when I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, she was great yesterday. I was able to kind of put an ear to the wall as I was here kind of floating over there to check out some of that. And it was just awesome. And you're going to see a lot of that throughout the weekend with these chefs, and they're making some really awesome stuff.
They are. Yep. And if you're planning on coming out here and you have not downloaded the app, highly, highly encourage you to do so. And even if you aren't, it's a great opportunity for you to just follow along with what the players are doing and the things that are happening out here. So if you had your app store, be it Apple, be it Google Play, whatever, if you are team Android, if you are team Apple, wherever you fall there or in between, if you had your app store and download it. So it's PGA Championship official app.
Okay.
And that will get you looped in on everything that is happening out here. The spectator guide, places to eat, places to grab a beverage, what holes, what players are on, the current scoreboard. I mean, any and everything that you need to know is currently on there.
That's the PGA Championship official app. And get it because people have shown it to me. I haven't downloaded it yet myself, but I know I will after I swat the next mosquito. But it is an amazing app, and it tells you a lot of cool stuff, and it shows you exactly real time where the players are.
Yeah.
So you can follow them around
and where you are too.
Yeah. And you also get alerts on what's happening at the KitchenAid Fairway Club.
Yeah, and other things that are happening around the course. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Yeah. So
he does it to me all the time.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. But as a representative of the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber, having an event like this,
it's huge,
and having the ability to showcase Southwest Michigan to all these people who may not have ever visited here before attending a championship, that must be gold.
It is. I'm talking like real dollars, a $7 to $8 million impact every single year that they've hosted here. So, I mean, that is people coming in to.
Sorry, we've got another blower guy coming by.
Yeah, I see. I can hear. Yeah.
$7 to $8 million a year.
$7 to $8 million a year that comes into the local economy when the Harbor Shores is hosting the PGA here. So for that, I mean, you think about it, how many people like fall in love with our area? They come back, they visit. I was actually up at the main info booth this morning, getting that all set up with my co-chair Anna, and a gentleman came up and he's like, I just have to tell you, like, this is my first time here.
Yeah.
And I was going to come, I'm from Ohio, and I was going to come as a spectator. And then I saw that there was volunteer opportunities, and I was like, when is it going to be this close ever again? So it's like, I'm coming back. Like your people here, the residents are incredibly nice. I've gotten lost twice, and like everyone has redirected me on like where to go because I don't know where I'm going, driving around. But he's like, I can't wait to come back and really just like explore later on. And that's kind of what it's about. You know, it's giving an opportunity for people to experience us and fall in love with us, and then continue to come back. And hopefully that also turns into them becoming residents. I mean, ultimately, that's kind of the goal.
Yeah. And you see the beautiful course, and the course has so many different, as we talked about, the sort of the quadrants, the different kind of, I guess you call them themes. You have one that's, there's a set of holes that are by the beach, and then here inland. And it's really a great way to describe Southwest Michigan, as you talked about, the fruit belt and the beaches and just so many great, cool areas.
And the manufacturing history too. I mean, Hole 14, which is we're right in front of, like that was actually a company, and John Prose has probably shared this with both of you, but that was actually a company that did parts for planes.
That's right.
And they had like actually, the chemical waste,
the little iridium,
and the radium, so like the fact that was here and it's been able to be cleaned up, and it's now turned into something that it provides value and provides use for the community, as opposed to sitting dormant. That's a huge change.
It's wonderful.
You got your Adirondack chairs from home. You brought what else did you
bring stuff from home here?
I did. So it's part
is that your cello?
That is not my cello. No.
Brought some stuff from the farm as well.
I did. So, growing up, a proud farm girl, my family is multi-generational farmers here in Southwest Michigan. So as we were sitting down in one of our last showcase meetings, it was like, okay, like what stuff do we need to put in here?
Right.
And somebody's like, do we have crates, like old, like fruit crates that we could get? And do we have this? And do we have that? And I'm like, I've got like half of a cold storage.
Right. Tell me what size you're thinking, and I can find it for you.
What do you want? Are you wanting like the wooden fruit crates? Are you wanting like the half bushel baskets? Are you wanting like the quart size? Like, what do you want? And they're like, yes. So I went through, pulled out some of the better ones. Actually, my grandpa is Cecil Preston. So that was a part of his farms. And some of the crates are actually from like the 1950s. So some of the farms that are on there don't even exist anymore.
Wow.
But they're based in Sodus, and for me, Bainbridge and Eau Claire. And then the half bushel baskets, the quart baskets, the Adirondack chairs, the grape lug, which if you are not familiar with grape lug, so as they hand pick grapes, which is the yellow one that's
where's the grape lug?
So it's actually now got all the sand.
Now it's become
in
a sandbox.
It's become a sandbox, yeah. So when they would pick grapes, they would cut them and they would put them in there, and that's how they would transport them around to keep them from getting like compressed, especially if they were going to like resell them. So brought that in, and it's become now a sandbox for kids or people to play in. So yeah, it was.
Is that how you had a sandbox when you were a kid? Did you?
No,
I was going to say.
Our sandbox was basically just the farm, the land. It's all sand and clay.
There's some sand over there. There's some dirt. You got all kinds of.
I had 20 acres of all of that to play with growing up. So
That's awesome.
And I have to compliment Sarah's earrings.
Oh yeah,
she's got
like the golf carts.
How often do you find an occasion to wear golf cart earrings?
Okay, so
those are really fun.
Was at a ribbon cutting for Taylor
with the big scissors.
with Brush and Bloom. And I just happened to look down. She had earrings in there. And I'm like, oh, these are really cool. And I'm flipping through and it's like, soccer mom. And I'm like, not it. And then there were like, massive cactuses. And I'm like, when am I ever going to wear that? And then I see the golf carts and I'm like, ooh,
gonna need those.
PGA is coming up and our golf outings, Wine and Nine, our 64th annual. So I'm like, okay, I'll buy them for myself. And then I saw a second pair. So I bought them for Jasmine for our office too. So if you see us, we likely will have matching earrings.
Perfect
awesome.
Decor for a perfect event. It's the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship. It's happening here at Harbor Shores. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you guys.
Coming
Good
up here.
with you.
Good coming up here in just a little bit. We'll have sports, news, and your Bloomberg Market Minute all next.
Loan rates are trending downwards. Are you ready to make your move? Sturgis Bank's expert hometown lenders will guide you.
Provided us.
All right. All right.
All right. I'm going to go get some bug spray real quick because they're eating me
I
alive.
thought you're going to find some swag. You were like, do you have any polo shirts I can have? What are you doing, Zach? Zach, come here. Sit down. Just sit. We're sitting Ken's spot. Zach East is here on our live stream. You can see him.
Oh, okay. Do we have to do this right now when I had a bug just up my nose 2 seconds ago?
Yeah, tell me what happened. Give me the play-by-play of that bug.
I was sitting in a chair and a bug flew up my nose. The end. I don't know what else there is.
So you're here and you are broadcasting live as well. You took over a little spot over there, and you're doing that on multiple stations. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Which ones are you doing this
I
for?
assume that I'm on those stations. I'm not at the moment, but our sister stations, 98.3 The Coast and 107.9 The Lake, which used to be 95.7 The Lake.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, he was showing me all this stuff because we've got all this technology that we're able to do broadcasting live. And he was like, yeah, I can do all this and I can even mess with a bunch of other people. So I appreciate that you're able to mess with
2
people.
seconds, I go to get bug spray.
And
You
you've
put
lost
somebody
your
in my
job.
chair.
Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Carla.
He wanted to know the story of how I had a bug up my nose.
Yep.
That's why the bug spray is really
Usually it's
important
just a bee in your bonnet.
Yeah. Oh,
The
thank
bug
you.
spray.
Yes. Ken, ladies and gentlemen.
A bee in your bonnet. Wow. Are you like 85 years old?
Yes, I am.
All right. We're going to get back to things in just a little bit. We'll
I
have
got to
the
go
Bloomberg
do
Market
actual
Minute.
radio.
All right, man.
Oh,
Actual radio?
Actual radio.
Oh.
What are you guys doing?
This is a fine award-winning program, so I don't know how many awards you've won.
I'm no
but-
Joshua Short, but I appreciate you inviting
Exactly.
me over
Yes.
very much.
Thank you, Zach.
Zach is one of the many people that spends time listening to our show instead of doing his show. So-
Yes. It's fandom here.
Mm-hmm.
We're all about that.
It was funny yesterday. I was having some conversations with people. And the cool part about it is this outfit, the volunteer outfit, plus the fact that I got a haircut yesterday. I was wearing different glasses.
Yesterday you got a haircut?
No, the day before yesterday.
okay.
But yesterday I was sporting the fresh new cut
Yeah.
and wearing the uniform plus glasses that I don't usually wear. And I walk right up to the guy that's going to be stopping by a little later, John Prose. And I said, hey, man, how you doing? And he had to take like 5 seconds to realize who I was.
Oh, no.
And I was like, man, this is a great disguise. But then I did talk to a few people that they were like, oh, what are you here for? Do you work for this company or this company or this company? I said, no, I work at the radio station. And they're like, wait a minute. You're Johnny, aren't you? And I said, yeah. So
That's great.
like, where's Ken? And I said, he's in my pocket. just hanging out here.
Very nice.
Isn't it always funny when you work with somebody, especially like co-hosts, and like they ask you where the other person is all the time? And it's like, we're not together all the time. We spend 3 hours together and that's about it.
Oh,
4 hours.
4 hours a day.
But it's like, if it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm out to dinner somewhere, I'm not bringing him
where's
with me
Ken?
most of the time.
That's great.
So, anyways, so we'll get back to it here in just a second, do a rundown of news. The wind is shifting again. So
What are we looking at? Yeah, it's still it's coming a little bit further from what would you call that? The south.
do they call that
east.
prevailing winds?
That
maybe?
is beyond my meteorological knowledge.
I don't know what's going on, man. Today is looking to be another beautiful day, especially starting out with nice sunny skies. What I do appreciate is not only have you been helpful with blocking the sun, but now the clouds have been able to kind of move a little bit and block things.
Yeah.
So that's been good.
They're here, and I put on enough bug spray for the both of us.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I was being thoughtful there as well.
It smells nice.
Yeah. This is the KitchenAid Senior PGA swag bag.
Yeah.
Bug spray.
I like the smell of that. I put on sunscreen yesterday. And for those of you watching on our live stream, I've got the Pat Moody flip flop, the
pop
collar.
Flop.
So I've got that going on. And I will say, the reason that people always say, why does he pop the collar? Why does Pat Moody pop the collar? Well, it's because of its function. It was started out as, I think, fashion and function, but then kind of he just kept going with it because he's like, I have been able to be outdoors for all kinds of events, whether I'm volunteering or I'm hanging out or I'm taking photos or whatever. And he said, you know how many times I've had sunburn on the back of my neck? 0.
Yep.
Because of the popped collar. So that's what I did. I feel like I just heard his voice.
Really, Pat?
Yeah, because he's busy, and I think maybe today is the day that he is
running
moving
people back
and forth. Yeah.
Oh, we should see if he can come by.
Yeah, he might swing by, I'm sure, and say hello.
It would be funny, just have him bring a golfer by.
Right.
Between holes.
Just stop by. Why not? But we've got a lot of other things to get to this morning. Speaking of the guy that did not recognize me at first, John Prose, I believe, will be stopping by here in 10 minutes or so.
All right.
I grabbed breakfast from the volunteer tent. I need to finish that. But we need to find out what's happening in the news this morning.
WSJM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
And in the WSJM remote newsroom, because we're out at Harbor Shores for the KitchenAid Senior PGA Golf Championship, I'm Ken Lundberg. Some of the local stories that we're following for you. It was a busy day in Southwest Michigan yesterday. U.S. Attorney for the Western District of Michigan stopped by, Mark Totten. He was announcing the Safe Summer 2024 program. It's meant to address the rise in gun violence that often accompanies the warmer summer months in Southwest Michigan. He was in Benton Harbor to speak alongside Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Haidt, Benton Harbor Public Safety Director Dan McGinnis, and Benton Township Police Chief Greg Abrams. They're all partnering up to ensure the gun crimes are fully prosecuted. We'll have more from the U.S. District Attorney for Western Michigan, Mark Totten, coming up at 8 o'clock. Also, the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship now officially underway at Harbor Shores. First golfers teed off yesterday morning with play to continue through Sunday. A total of 156 players yesterday and today. You will recall this is a 6,852-yard course. It's a par 71. Yeah.
That's a lot of steps.
That's a lot of steps. And we talked also with KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship Director Brandon Haney. We'll tell you a little bit more about some of the other things coming up this weekend that you can see and experience out at Harbor Shores. And one more thing from the local news item, the state health department is on high alert, actually all across Michigan, just days after a human case of bird flu was confirmed in our state. Chief Medical Executive Dr. Natasha Bagdasrian says that there have been no additional cases so far reported, but officials are across Michigan working to monitor to see that it doesn't spread. They also say that human cases of bird flu are an emerging problem with infected herds of poultry and cattle across the state. She wants people to only drink pasteurized milk and report any symptoms to a state health official. In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
And coming up here in just a little bit, we'll catch up with Dave Wolf with sports. Also, find out what's happening around the state.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher. You'll be paying more to fill up your tank.
Man, that cottonwood is flying around here in Maine.
Yeah. Clouds have come in.
Where's my donut?
It's right there next to your potatoes. All right. So again, the Southwest Michigan's favorite restaurants as rated yesterday by people who were here at the Community Showcase tent. Mark III, Grand Mare Inn, Red Arrow Roadhouse, Full Circle Cafe, Silver Harbor Brewing, Mason Jar, Tosie's, Houndstooth, Coach's Bar and Grill, and Silver Beach Pizza. So make note of those and all the other great restaurants as well.
We were having this debate yesterday in the community showcase as to where you draw the circle or the line of Southwest Michigan when it comes to these restaurants, because some said South Haven was kind of your top. I said you could maybe even sneak up to the Saugatuck, Douglas. That kind of is the lower end of West Michigan. So I guess where would you say is a good little circle area? East, west, south.
I mean, really, the default is the Tri-County area.
Right.
You've got Berrien, Cass, Van Buren counties, and then you're right. I mean, we're still in the southwest part of the mitten, and so you might as well, if there's something that's going to lure your stomach up there, head on up. Oh, look, another heron. They are a lot of herons up here. Isn't that big? That's a big bird.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, so yeah, wherever it is. Hey, look, is that John Bros? Hey, John.
Oh, look at that.
He's got his golf cart. He's ready.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think wherever, if there's an attraction or an entertainment that we're proud of, that we want to take part in, we're there.
Because there was a couple submissions up there. One of them being one that I had to actually look up, and it was in Grand Rapids. Now, Grand Rapids, I consider West Michigan.
Yeah, I'd say that starts to get into the West.
I think
categorization.
Wherever you can drive in, like from Benton Harbor, especially from here, 30 minutes. In every
30 minutes.
I'd say between 30 minutes and every
close.
Direction. Yeah. Maybe 40.
Okay. Let's do 40. 45.
30, 40. Because I was thinking like, okay, how long is it? Maybe 50. maybe 3. Let's just go all the way to Detroit and pick up some pizza.
Is Kalamazoo Southwest Michigan?
Kalamazoo, I would consider
it's still kind of West
Michigan. Yeah, I would call it West Michigan.
You know what I wouldn't call any of this that we just talked about? I would not call it Michiana.
Ooh.
I would never call anything Michiana.
Really?
I'm just going to draw a line
there.
there.
I talked to somebody that lives in Michiana Shores.
Well, yes, if you live in a town or municipality that is designated as Michiana, that is what I recognize. That is perfect. I love that. But just calling the whole region and putting South Bend at the center of it, I don't buy it. I don't like it. I don't know why they do that.
Well, Michigan and Indiana right at the border, and if you have the Niles South Bend, we're both neighboring towns that are pretty much the same area.
Oh, I get the logic.
There's just a state line in between.
Yeah, I get the logic, but it's
like where I live in Niles. I'd be okay with calling that Michiana because we are the last town before you get over the border.
Do you have nausea medicine with you? Because that just made me a little nauseous.
No, I've got some allergy medicine if you want some of that. I've got some sunblock.
How are folks doing on the live stream?
They are doing great. Jocelyn did ask, and we'll have to double check. He didn't say he didn't recognize me, but he acted as though he needed about 5 seconds to figure out who I was. But John Pro's standing over there. I'm gonna bring it up. But there has been a Silver Fox sighting, and that is Mr. John Pro's.
Oh goodness,
he loves when I call him that.
Gentlemen,
what's up, man?
We're on the live stream. Got the microphones live.
Nice to see you all. Thank you for letting me know before you
say
something beautiful.
Yeah, don't say anything you wouldn't want your kids to hear.
Someone was asking me. Actually, Stephanie asked me yesterday. I'm sure there were others who were wondering. We turned the microphones down at one point to have a side conversation because somebody wanted to know: Are we on? Are we still on? And
yeah.
Well, what do you have to say?
Yeah, you're right. Is there something?
Wait, let me turn these.
Are we
down.
going in a direction we ought not go publicly?
And they just wanted to know what question that was coming up next.
Yeah, because there's the especially news. There's the on the record, off the record kind of thing. And when you're having some of those conversations, it's like, wait, do I need to turn this into off the record?
Which filter do I need to put on this?
We had a reporter at the Capitol. You guys know Tim Skubik.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tim was brilliant with that. He'd look at his camera guy and he'd be like, go ahead and turn it off.
Oh.
No, you knew full well.
But it's still pointed right at you. And the microphone's
exactly.
Still there.
And he's still, the guy on the camera still.
He's probably got a special button that takes a little red light and turns that off, but it keeps rolling.
Exactly. I learned pretty quickly that whatever you did say in front of Tim was 100% on the record.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. John Pros, thanks for joining us.
Happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Right. What's going on?
I mean, the greatest showcase of Southwest Michigan that could ever be. Are you kidding? It's beautiful.
Yeah. Did you get that and play at all? Were you in the Pro-Am?
I did play in the Pro-Am.
How'd you do?
It was so
How'd you
much
get that gig? How'd they let you in?
All right,
Johnny
so
stopped eating his donut
That's
for a
right.
second.
That's right.
to
Wait,
ask
how'd
that
you get that gig? I didn't get that gig. I actually paid for it, and here's why.
Wow.
Here's why. The contribution that was made to First Tee of Benton Harbor,
Right.
that was made because of the contributions that went to the Pro-Am, right?
Yes.
Now, the Pro-Am itself, of course, you get a hat and I got
Sure.
some golf balls and that kind of thing. I mean, you get some things because you're a part of it, but much of your entry fee goes then to support the First Tee.
Sure.
And so that contribution was made Wednesday morning, which is wonderful.
That was a
which
big
is
deal.
wonderful. Yeah.
Big
yeah.
deal
At the
indeed.
community breakfast, which was also a great gathering of all of our local elected leaders and appointed leaders. And it was really great.
What did they talk about there? Given that this is the last one, and that they're doing it up big and they're doing it up right, and they left a great legacy of the scholarships that were there.
Right.
What else did they talk about at the breakfast?
It really about mission accomplished. That when you think about what all of this 550 acres of Harbor Shores was, from the days that I grew up in this community and really didn't even know the Paw Paw River existed, just simply because it was dense manufacturing and dense overgrown trees and waste. And I mean, we continue to talk about it, but it really is extraordinary. And from where you all sit right now here in this this great Southwest Michigan studio, hole 14 is just 50 yards from where we are right now. And that 14 tee box was a super fun site with nuclear waste.
Oh yeah.
In Benton Harbor, right here in our hometown. And we had most of us didn't know about it, and I didn't know about it. I knew about the building, but didn't know about it.
It's
amazing. Just amazing.
Go on the air here in just a moment.
A meteorologist, Carrie Pouge.
It's the morning show with Jonny and Ken on 94.9 WSJM.
Here we go.
Here we
are.
Here we go. You can take the Johnny out of the studio, but you can't take the studio out of the Johnny.
Nope.
He's always ready to go.
Always rocking and rolling, man. Even eating donuts on the live stream. And I'm always sharp and ready to go.
With a sugar kick.
Oh, yeah. That's the only thing that fuels this, man. This is why it's a Fine Award-winning program.
Oh, boy.
Because it's all jacked up on sugar. So
I like it.
John Prose is here, and he has been very busy going around and doing a lot of really cool things. They even gave him a golf cart, which that sounds important. When you get a golf cart, then you know you're at the level of importance.
Yeah, look at
right,
that,
Ken?
Yeah,
since I have my own golf cart.
You do have with a misspelled name.
It's true,
but you even have the little seed thing. The seed container. Are you stopping along the course and helping reseed any divots? And
so I'm not allowed inside the ropes. In fact, that's the dangerous part. Because I have a cart, now I'm a danger to every pedestrian and spectator on grounds.
Right.
And that requires extra attention on my part, because the last thing we need is for me to knock somebody down.
The preparation guide for volunteers and media and everyone else, it says in it that you shall not bring your own golf clubs. Now, tell us on the record here. Did you bring your own golf clubs
Absolutely
today?
not. No, I can't play with these guys. I'm plenty
Pro-Am, though,
old
you
enough
did,
to
right?
play. I did play in the Pro-Am, but I'll tell you, it is amazing watching these athletes. And I play golf. I love to play golf. It's something that we did as a family. It's something that I do with my family now. I mean, we've always really enjoyed playing, but to watch these guys my age, right? I mean, these are guys I grew up with that were on the pro tour, and now I'm the same age as these guys. I'm eligible for the tour, and I'm light years from the possibility of ever teeing it up in an event like this.
Just the amount of walking that they're doing.
That's right.
The yardage that you were just saying, Ken, what was it, like
6,872 yards.
That's right.
On this par 71.
That's exactly right. And while the pro players here do have the option of taking a cart, the fact is that the cart is not on the inside the ropes, is what they call it, right?
Right.
They're still only on the cart paths. But nonetheless, that having 550 acres to spread an 18-hole golf course out over is really unusual in golf. This is a massive piece of property, all of which has been cleaned up for to the highest and best use for some of this property, right? It's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, talking just a little bit about that, you were at the community breakfast. We were
Yes.
talking about it just a moment ago on the video live stream. You were at the community breakfast that happened Wednesday, and we were asking a little bit about what were they talking about there.
Mhm.
You said really it was almost a mission accomplished type
That's
of
right.
atmosphere of hey, we did this for many years,
Yes.
and it's provided something great for our community. I mean, what do you think about when you think about Harbor Shores and the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship?
Well, Harbor Shores is what it is because of the vision of folks like Dave Whitwam and Jeff Fettig, all who said, look, Whirlpool owned a significant portion of the properties that are now stitched together to become Harbor Shores. But when those properties no longer were manufacturing properties, Dave Whitwam and Jeff Fettig and Jeff Knoll and now Pam Klein, they all committed to making it something of value to the community. And so the mission was, how can we make all of these properties and properties that Whirlpool didn't own, malleable steel. I mean, you can go on, Osco products, etc. All of these properties have been stitched together. Many of these properties were so badly contaminated that one of the pieces of property actually right here, 25 yards from where we are doing this broadcast, was a Superfund site that Congressman Upton helped to create enough momentum at Chicago's EPA, right? The Chicago office of the EPA Region 5 to be able to get the money to clean it up. There was nuclear waste just 50 yards, 25 yards from here on the 14 tee box. So you add all that together. The mission was, how do you take all of these properties and how do we have a better place for everyone in Southwest Michigan to live? This gives us the opportunity to see a quadrupling of the hotel space that is full all summer long during our beautiful summer seasons, fall and spring. Winter, we struggle to continue to bring people around. I think we're going to continue to see opportunities for that. But at the end of the day, it is mission accomplished. We had a golf course that was built with a Jack Nicklaus signature on it, and then it became a top 100, and now it's the top 90 public golf course in America. That brings folks from all over the nation. And then you add on top of that the 6th of 7 times that we would have been hosting, right? Because of course, COVID.
Right.
This is the 6th time that we're going to have this kind of TV audience. And it absolutely is a magnificent view and reminds people what Southwest Michigan's all about.
What a showcase.
It is.
It's
it really
amazing.
is.
It's really great.
Yeah, we've had such a fun time being here, and this is when we were listening to the broadcast in the afternoon, when they were talking to a lot of the players. A lot of the players said, it's such a beautiful course, such a great spot. But they had conversations with a lot of other people in the community, including Whirlpool, and they said again that mission accomplished. What we set out here to do, and even some of the players were like, I don't really know what that means, but
That's
cool.
right.
But because a lot of the people that come here and check this all out may not know the history of what was here before. And I think that's so important
because they've done such a great job of cleaning it up.
And it's so great now for, like you said, great for the economy, great for the community, but the environment as well, the watershed and all these different things. There's so much. I mean, as we've been marveling over the wildlife that has been flying by and going by throughout the morning. It's just a beautiful, beautiful landscape.
Yeah, the wetlands right in front of the 16 tee box, a pair of swans yesterday.
Yeah, really.
I mean, just absolutely gorgeous views. I had the chance to play with Golf Channels, and I don't know if you're familiar with all these folks, but Paul McGinley is on the Golf Channel. Ryder Cup captain, beat the U.S., just one of the most likable guys. And I played with him in that Pro-Am and had the opportunity to explain this to him, what this was and what it is today. And he had 2 very distinct responses to that. The first is he says, boy, you really know when you've played this course because I am whooped.
Yeah.
I mean, we walked it, right? We walked the whole course. And because it's so spread out, there's carts that take you between some of the long distances to get. So from like number 9 to number 10 is a good 5 to 7 minute ride in a golf cart to get to number 10, right?
That's a long way.
So we're taking players the same way by golf cart. Now they walk the rest of the course. But McGinley then said, this was a super fun site. I'm showing him number 14 and on that tee box. And he says, this was a super fun site. So he said, explain to me what super fun was. I said, the most contaminated sites in America. And what happened is that most contaminated site was Is that Pat Moody?
That's Pat Moody. Look at that.
I thought I
Is that
heard his
the
voice.
Pat Moody?
He has an extra special cart over there.
That is the Pat Moody of
Sorry to interrupt.
I heard
Moody
his
in the morning.
voice. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Classic. Talk about the volunteers, because as we've seen so many volunteers, at one point I saw you yesterday. For a second, I think, John, I don't think you recognized me as I walked up to you because I had this disguise, and you were like, wait a minute.
That's
Hey, Johnny.
That's Johnny. Exactly. I didn't at first. And there are some 1,200 volunteers in total, 1,000 or so.
Yeah.
Some 600 of them are returners.
Yeah.
And there's like 275 or so. And I have the numbers wrong. And I know that Kelsey's going to have something to say to me after this. And but they're generally 275 or 300 that are coming back for the sixth time.
Yeah, there's actually you can see all the names in the volunteer hospitality, which is pretty cool to see all those out there. Pat Moody being one of them.
There you go.
Yeah, away from golf for just one moment, because previewing what you're going to be doing next week with a whole lot of other great thinkers and leaders in Michigan.
Yes.
The policy conference happens in Mackinac.
Yes.
Anything that we should be looking for from that? I know we can't look forward to a Senate debate, unfortunately, for the
Since
U.S.
that was
Senate
canceled.
seat.
That's right.
That's right. But any insights there? I know we want to talk with you after it.
So last year it was all about the theory or the philosophy behind it, which was what can we do to be the next thing, and what are we going to do together, right? Yeah. So that it's not just me and Ken, but and Johnny, right? How do we make that happen? And I think this year it's much more about where are we going to be putting a stake in the ground to make a difference, and housing is going to be one of those conversations. There's no doubt about it. It is a big conversation nationwide. It's a big conversation in the state of Michigan, and it most certainly is a big conversation here in Southwest Michigan with all kinds of folks leaning in on that question. There are some economic issues that are some headwinds for things like that, though. We know that today's current interest rate environment is struggling, is a struggle for some, for many. And is this the new norm, or are we going to have to find new solutions to incentivizing developers? I mean, there's a lot of work to be done in that arena. Sure. I'll look forward to catching up with you all and offering some insights on what next week's conference is all about. It's a big confab for a bunch of days. And it's a pretty intense policy conference.
I can imagine you and others will bring up the policy around population.
Absolutely.
And they thought about it. They talked about it. Doesn't seem like a whole lot has happened as of yet, but we'll see.
Yeah. I had the chance to serve on that policy, the population council for the governor, and offered my 2 cents on what Southwest Michigan's perspective is on keeping, attracting, and growing talent. And you can circle that question right back to the kind of conversations that Corwell and Whirlpool is having, and why the Senior PGA Championship is so much a part of that. Yeah. If we did not have these sorts of activities and events, we wouldn't remind people of how important and having this exposure, this positive exposure, really is. So we have a lot to talk about. I look forward to sharing it with you.
Sounds good.
John Prose is joining us real quick as we wrap up this tournament at the end of the week. On Sunday, there will be, as we talk about all the wonderful volunteers that are here, there will be a volunteer award, and that has very close to your heart.
Yeah, it does. 10 years ago, within 24 hours of Colin Montgomery being crowned the champion, my father suddenly passed away, and it was a surprise to many people in the community, certainly to us as a family. And the folks at the PGA of America and Whirlpool KitchenAid said, you know what, we need to honor Dr. Prose, and we also need to honor our volunteers. And he was a volunteer as the chief medical officer both in 2012 and 2014. So 10 years ago Sunday morning is the anniversary of his passing. That'll be the day that we actually crowned the champion for the Senior PGA Championship, and the last and final Volunteer of the Year award will go in his name. It'll be nice to see the volunteers that really make this community operate, right? We're able to pull this off because of all the volunteers, and to have it named after my father is very, very special, but it's more special because it's the number of volunteers who make this all work.
It's fitting and well-deserved. So
thank you.
Thank you.
We're here at the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship. More great conversations and more fun coming up. Also, your Moody on the Market update is on the way next.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem.
Over I could probably do video if you can.
Yeah,
Want
let's
to
do
connect it?
Yeah, if we can
I
do
don't
it.
know if I'll have it or not.
We'll
but
send you
yeah.
the StreamYard link. We can do it in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll work out the details.
What's up, Pat?
Okay, that works.
Are you doing
In the 7 o'clock hour, is that like
You doing
hotel
the,
room or in the?
I'll be in a hotel room at that point.
Okay.
I'm in Mackinac City because I couldn't even get a room.
Oh my gosh.
Good morning, folks, on our live stream. We've had some great conversations here throughout the morning. Pat Moody's over there. John Prose is over there. So we've been having tons of fun over here.
Pat, come on over here.
Wait, you say that to him too?
What does he say?
He says he's John though. He's not Johnny. Yeah, you got to do a new one. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Yeah.
Pat, you want to come over here for the Moody on the Market update? Come on.
What's your update? Yeah.
Do the Moody on the Market update with Pat Moody.
Oh.
That'll be good.
They can't. I've got the key.
They're leading right now.
They're leading. So today's the new one. Today's the new one. When you come here to the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship, the community showcase tent, there's a Discover Southwest Michigan voting. You scan the QR code, you vote, you add what your favorites are, and there's a gift. I call it a gift bags kit. Bags kit.
Baz?
Because it's a bag. It's a bags kit.
He's a bass fisherman.
Oh,
yes. So it's a bag. Because I had an argument. I had an argument with somebody yesterday.
That's a good one.
All right. So my microphone will be the only one on for this conversation.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
This is what happens.
All right.
This is what happens when you get a lot
Knock
of people
it
who are
off.
comfortable around the microphone just talking. This is fun.
You guys
Look who
just yammering over there.
Just bumped up.
Oh,
there we go.
Look at that. Look at that.
So we're in the community showcase tent, and it's pure Michigan, because we're also helping to discover Southwest Michigan for people who've not been here before. And part of the community showcase is to vote for. Yesterday it was your favorite restaurant. Today for your favorite craft beverage maker. And so we've got a lot of folks around here who are voting and watching as we go how the rankings are. And right now, leading for favorite Southwest Michigan craft beverage maker is Watermark. Number 2 is Silver Harbor Brewing. And number 3 is River St. Joe.
And really, when you think craft beverage, don't think just craft beer. There's, of course, many great distilleries and wineries here. So all of that, all of those makers go right in there. And you'll be able to actually see a lot of those in the Makers Trail 19th hole. But on the 18th to 1, you'll be seeing Pat Moody on a golf cart.
Oh, yeah.
For a good portion of the day. And Pat, you'll be carting people for what time? What's time your shift?
Not just people.
Here, come on up here.
Golfers.
Come on up here.
Not just people. I am taking the players.
The players
and the caddies. And the standard bearers and the scorekeepers and so forth. We have 8-person carts. And I take them today because they're starting at both 1 and 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'll either be taking them, if they started at 10, I'll be taking them back to continue their round because they have to tee off at 1 and finish the round. Or if they're done, if they started at 1 and they're wrapping up at 18, I take them back to the scorer's tent.
Yeah,
that's fine. So this is the Moody on the Market update.
Right.
And we've got Pat Moody here for this, which is extra special.
So that's the Moody on the cart update.
This is the Moody on the cart update. Yes.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I've
done this for a while.
That's the smartest thing he said in like, I can't even.
Like a decade or something.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
You son of a.
But Pat, you get to transport the players, the caddies, as you said. Yeah. Tell us some interesting stories. What have you heard so far?
There's lots of interesting things.
Safe for broadcast.
Well, one guy, by way of example, he was an Australian. I honestly don't know his name. He's not the guy who's leader.
Okay.
Because he was already done before I even started my shift yesterday, or very nearly done.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a nice guy, and he got on and he asked me, he goes, so what's the deal with the house? Because there's a house. What we do is when we take them from 13 to 14 was my shift yesterday. Yeah. And rather than come down that winding cart path behind the Hill District restaurant, they leave that for spectators.
Okay.
You know, and so you can't get carts and spectators. So the carts come off of the, and they come through the
basically the
Gotta get
field.
up close and
Sorry,
personal. That's all right.
they come through the field down to that little side street, and then down to North Shore, and then we come right down the middle of North Shore Drive, and then we drop them at the gate on between 14. 14. Right here. Yeah. At the 14 team. And so anyway, there's a house up there that says it's build out ready. And it's got, call or text Tom at, and I think it's either a Chicago or a Detroit.
It's like somebody had a homemade
number.
Sign up there trying to shill their
No,
house?
it's not a homemade sign.
Okay.
It's a
full
professional
deal.
made sign.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it's on the side of the building. It's a giant sign, And so the guy asked me, he goes, what's it going for? And I said, I honestly don't know, but I had just heard like an hour before that, because somebody else was asking, that it was going for $160,000.
What?
That's what. But keep in mind, this is a beater of a house. And he goes, what does that include? And I said, he goes, what does build out ready mean? I said, I think it means it's been stripped to the stud walls. It is however you want it to be. Yeah, exactly. He goes, somebody else at the clubhouse told me it was on the market for $1 million. And I said, well, if it is,
that's because that player wants it, I'm sure. And I'm sure these players, as they're scoping out the beautiful landscape, they may see
they
some
do make
of those
a lot
houses.
That's the other thing is I do get a lot of compliments. People saying, "Boy, it's a beautiful area." One guy said, "He goes, you have this kind of weather all day, every day, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I wish." Right. I said, "But we're glad to bring it to you."
Sunny and 75 would be nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful day.
It's been a great week.
What are they saying about the course?
They love it. It's in top-notch shape. It is in premier shape. Yeah. And I think they love it, especially the way it played yesterday. I think they were like, I think they all thought it was going to be a little tougher challenge. Usually, it probably will be today.
Yeah, usually those first and second rounds, you see a lot. I would say higher scores instead of lower scores.
Don't forget that it was pretty soft because of all the rain that came in Monday night. Because that was a deluge Monday night.
Yeah.
Holy cow! Yeah. We were working that day, just taking players that were out practicing and stuff. So. You can't expect him to walk all the way back to the clubhouse after finishing 18 holes,
So we've been talking this hour about volunteers for the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship, and you have the honor of donning a white lanyard with the volunteer. What does that white lanyard mean?
Well, the white lanyard represents those who have volunteered since the very beginning. Yep. So they've got 6 years, 7 technically, but 2020 was wiped out because of COVID. Yep. Although we did volunteer and paid our money, they eventually offered the money back. Somebody said, "Can't we just donate it to a cause?" And so a number of us just said, "Keep the money." They wouldn't let us do that. They said, "We can't do that. We'll give it to you, and you guys can go ahead and
donate on your own."
So we donated it on to several causes around the area. But so those who have the white lanyard have served since the very beginning. And the nice thing is it has the logo of every one of the previous
great.
on that lanyard.
Yeah, on the lanyard fabric there. You've got the KitchenAid, and then every single logo that they've had throughout the years.
Yep.
Oh, that's great. Yep.
Well, Pat, we'll let you get back to work because I know you got to get on the cart and get rolling. But thank you so much for
Good job taking your key out of the cart, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody didn't do that yesterday, and they got in trouble.
I got special privileges.
What's even worse?
What's I don't even have a card.
Is I don't want to get in trouble for it. I'm not worried about getting in trouble for it. I'm worried about not having it when I go back.
Well, that's what they
because
said.
I've seen that before. Somebody just drives off it, or you go, "No, how do you explain
you just
that?"
Put the player on your back and go to the next hole.
So no, I've learned it real early. Take the key when you go.
Yeah. Thanks for coming by, Pat.
Thank you.
You're moody on the cart, and your update always
has arrived.
Check out all the stories and more at moodyonthemarket.com and the app. And your updates brought to you by our friends. The trains are rolling.
Yep.
Brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
Rich Brand and Tara Halsey from Insurance Management Service, your local auto owners insurance agent.
All right. Thanks, Pat. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, sir. All right. Live stream.
We are still on the live stream. I believe we'll probably do an extended version of the live stream because we will have a special guest that will join us virtually.
Oh, good.
I'm actually going to text him and make sure he's ready to roll here in the next 10 minutes.
Excellent. So the microphones are still live.
Yes.
Cat is texting the players.
You voting?
Were you talking to me? I was just voting yes.
He was voting.
Oh, you're voting.
Yes, I was
Pat,
voting
what
on
is
the favorite Southwest Michigan craft beverage maker.
Yours would be?
I'm not going to reveal that. The booth is a very, the voting booth is a private enterprise.
Oh, okay. Did you notice I popped the collar like you? And I will say,
thank you for that.
And I think you taught me well over the years.
I'll tell you what, it'll save you from having sunburn on the back of your neck.
Because I just got a haircut, and so there's not much back there when I got it, and I even put some sunscreen on there.
And you certainly don't want to be a redneck, Johnny.
Exactly. Don't want that. But yeah, I didn't get any sunburn. Felt great. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Look at that.
All right.
Bless you. Excuse me. What other fun anecdotes do you want to share with our friends?
Am I still on?
Yeah, you're always on. There you go.
That was good. That's a behind the scenes right there. That's a behind the scenes schnoz blow.
Dwayne on our Facebook page
I've
says
never had allergies
off the
with all
rails.
this white
The
stuff.
cottonwood.
It was snowing yesterday
I
with
know,
all that
I know.
cottonwood.
I had to tell guys coming down the hill because we're coming at a pretty good pace, so it's just flying right at us. You know, I had to tell guys several times. I know it looks like it's snowing, but I promise it's not. Or I said, I know it snows a lot in Southwest Michigan, but I promise this is not snow.
Don't try to land a snowflake on your tongue because Have you been by the media center yet?
Yes,
it's a pretty substantial setup. It's very nice.
Yeah. It's been it's been a little fancier on occasion, but yeah, it's a pretty good setup.
Yeah, because that's where you would do the show when you did the morning, right? Would you do it from the media center?
We did it over the course of the years. It evolved.
Sure.
In the very beginning, it was always from the media center. Later, it was from the showcase.
Sure. Okay.
Somebody told me, I think it was Dave Wolf told me, you did it at 1 year in what amounted basically to a garden shed. There was a metal-sided building. No, that was for the...
Yes. Yeah.
Was that here or was that at the...
Well, the Western Am, we used to have just a shed. And, and we had a tiny little trailer and all kinds of things. But no, the very first year we did it outside of M-Tech.
That's right.
Along the back drive where the
livery is, right?
No, where the first aid trailer is on the backside there.
Gotcha.
We were on the opposite side on the grass. We were just on the grass along that driveway. And they even gave us some flack because we brought our banners, You can't do that. You can't do that. How are people supposed to know where to come when I tell them to come and see me?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's
all right. We'll get back to it. We got news coming up here in just a second.
So, and your white lanyard with the volunteer on it means you've been volunteer for all 6 that have been here.
Correct.
That's awesome.
Yep. There's about 300.
It's the morning show
Here we
with
go.
Jonny and Ken
Oh, here we go.
on 94.9 WSJM.
I said, here we go.
How we doing on time?
It's way off
How
time.
we doing on time?
It is, as Dwayne on our Facebook page says earlier, off the rails. Completely.
That's why we heard the train.
The train was coming. But yeah, it's 8:04. It's going to be a beautiful day today. There's sun in the sky and a little bit of clouds making their way this afternoon, bringing us some rain. But overall, it should be, I'd say, a pretty good day for golf. 30% chance for that afternoon rain. High of 83 today.
It's going to be warm.
Keep yourself cool. Later tonight, we're looking at some clouds. 80% chance for some rain and storms with a low down to 60.
And don't forget, if you want to listen to some of the action that's happening here at the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship, we are broadcasting it later on today, 1 o'clock.
1 to 4, you'll be able to hear Phil McDonald, Bob DeWitt, and then, of course, a bunch of other great people that will be talking about golf, talking about community, hearing from some of the players as they're finishing things up. So it was a lot of fun to listen to yesterday.
Play-by-play king, Ken Lundberg.
That's Pat Moody. Yeah. So you were with, let's see, you were with, how many different golfers did you shuttle yesterday?
Oh, I can't even
like a dozen. Something like that?
More than that.
Okay.
Yeah, there's 3 on every round, and we
did the golfers? Did the golfers ride with each other on your car? You've got a big car.
Sometimes they do. Yeah, they're 8.
It's a shuttle cart,
or 8-person carts, 1 driver, and we have 3 of them at each of the at the locations that I've worked at 18, at 13, and so forth. And it usually takes at least 2, if not all 3 of them. So yes, sometimes the golfers all ride together. Sometimes they don't want any part of a ride. You can tell. I mean, if a guy will come up and he'll climb into a cart, and then the next guy comes up and he looks and he goes, "I'm not getting in with him." And he goes, seriously. Wow. And other times they'll talk to each other.
I thought it'd be very friendly.
One guy yesterday got in. He was not doing well. He was already 4 over at that point, and we were only his 5th hole of the day. I think,
I saw that.
And
yeah.
And he got in and he put his arms on the seat in front of him and just kind of bowed down. And I don't know if he looked up the whole rest of the time because my back was to him after that. So
because they make the cut after today's play.
Correct.
Coming up here in just a little bit, we'll talk with Matt Weinberger. He's one of the senior directors of championships with PGA of America. So that's coming up. And also it's Friday, free flat Fridays with Barbett Farms and Greenhouse. Go to WSJM.com and get more info there and sign up on that contest. But let's find out some of the stuff that's happening in the news.
WSJM News.
Oh, see, I didn't know we were that far behind schedule.
Spencer used to think that free flat Friday meant you could get a free flat tire if you.
Yep. Hey, if you drive in some of these
like
areas,
a flat tire or flat tire repair.
No,
like
a free flat.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of driving with flat tires, it is a one of those toe to go weekends for AAA.
Oh yeah.
So if you tie one too many on, they have that for members and non-members.
Don't use it as your designated driver.
No, don't
get a designated driver.
But listen to him, man.
Yeah.
You must have done that, huh?
No, I've never done that. Never done that.
Did they reprimand you severely for doing that?
Why is there knee slapping? He's not that funny. What is going on here?
It's not funny, Johnny. It's not funny.
Jesus.
That's from personal experience. Do not use the toe and go as a designated.
It's about 10 o'clock. Where's Johnny? There he is. Johnny, where are you?
Okay. These are going away. All right, we'll get Matt Weinberger on the horn in just a little bit. He'll be on our live stream. All right, you guys done over there? All right, yep, I do. Yeah, that's going on. Furry Friends Friday happening as well around 8:40. We'll also have Andrew Green's Flick Picks.
Oh, good. We're going to work that in.
We're going to try. You guys keep talking. I won't know if I have time to.
He's got the review of Amy Winehouse. I think it's Back in Black.
Yeah, is it Back in Black or Back to Black something like
Whatever
that?
Whatever it is, it's the Amy Winehouse biopic, whatever you choose. And he said it was really good.
I have to give a shout out to Andrew.
Andrew Green.
He does a very thorough job of reviewing movies. I think
he does.
I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, I can listen to him talk about any movie, whether I love the movie, hate the movie, or whatever, just because he creates such a great word picture regarding the movie, and all of the subtleties that he found in it, and the things that he liked and didn't like, and things like that. It's just he could be a top-notch reviewer if you wanted.
We will pass that. He is a top-notch reviewer.
Well, he is, yeah. But I mean,
I understand.
Syndicate the thing and take it nationwide or something.
Absolutely,
because he really does a sweet job, man. It's really good.
He does, and
he picks some pretty weird movies that I wouldn't even.
What are you talking about?
He does.
The horror movies. See, he and I are both horror movie fans, and so he picks some of the good ones. Yeah. I always ask him. It's like, should I see it? Should I not see it?
So have you ever done movie reviews at all?
No,
other than just telling your friends, like, don't go.
No, I've not, and that's why I really appreciate Andrew and the way he approaches it. Just like you, is he does it and he looks at it and he knows the background of the director, the actors, and he'll come.
He does a very thorough job.
Yeah, he's good.
He's top notch.
Andrew Green,
yes, sir.
Flick Picks.
Yeah,
Flick Picks. Oh, here we go.
Find it here.
He's dealing with a technical difficulty right now. This is the behind the scenes that you're seeing for the show.
Yeah.
So Johnny is talking with somebody who's supposed
to. Johnny Troubleshooter.
Send this over real
Johnny
quick.
Troubleshooter.
Just 2 seconds, and then we'll get you on.
Johnny TS.
You see any of the chefs yesterday? Celebrity chefs who were through here?
No,
because you're shuttling golfers all day.
So he said, this is day 2, and I said, not for me. It's
right
day
now.
5 already.
Do they put the clubs on your cart as well?
Yeah, well, the caddies just carry them and they put them in.
Okay, what are they playing with?
Ken Lundberg, my co-host with me.
haven't honestly paid attention.
Okay.
I saw on the range, I saw a ton of TaylorMade.
All right, man, we'll see you in a second.
I mean, a ton of TaylorMade.
Okay.
I've seen Titleist bags. Really,
What?
I have so. Once they're on us,
it should be.
You know, I'm in go mode. I mean, you know, because they will.
Okay, let me
some
check.
of them sit down and they go, okay, let's go. I go, you know, we got a couple of more guys. Just hang on a second, you know. And some of them get pretty antsy, and some are very, very, you know, they you know, all right, hang on, but so I don't have time for the subtleties of, you know. So what are you playing? You know.
So how are you doing? How are you finding in Southwest Michigan?
Well, and that's the other thing. We're instructed. Do not speak to them unless and until they speak to you.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And it's understandable because some of these drivers want to be chatty Cathy. You know, so how's it going? You know, and all that. That's the worst thing you can ask a guy who's now 4 over after 5 holes. You know, how's it going? You want to know how it's going? Look at my scorecard. but you know, and others are, but most of them are very, very nice. You know, they'll chat you up first. They'll go, hey, you know, first of all, they'll climb on the cart and say, hey, thanks very much. We appreciate you. Yeah. I had the caddy for Bob Estes, one of the pros, was out here Monday and Wednesday, even without his golfer, just, you know, rolling balls on the green, taking measurements and things like that, trying to be the best caddy that he could possibly be for the guy. And I think I carried him like yesterday was like the 5th time that I carried him. And I reminded him, I didn't even realize again how focused I am on just get on the cart, let's go. Right. And I happened to look over and it was him again. I go, I nudged him. I said, I think this is the 5th time I carried you this week. He goes, I think you're right. He goes, I think I may need to bring you $100 bill tomorrow. And I said, there you go. I think you might. He goes, or maybe a sleeve of golf balls. I go, no, the 100 will do fine.
Oh, that's funny.
But he's a really nice guy. And he on the very first day after I'd taken him, because we were more freewheeling. We're pretty rigid, you know, today. I mean, it's pedal to the metal the whole way back and forth, because by the time we get back, there's more coming off and time to haul them across, and then you get back. You know, it's just like a perpetual motion machine a good part of the day. During practice rounds,
all right, here we go.
Few and far between as to when somebody's
Johnny and Ken on 94.9 WSJM.
16 and 17, wherever you want to go, you know.
Hey, good morning. We are hanging out at the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship right here at beautiful Harbor Shores.
We're
having
not
a great
hanging out,
time.
we're repping, man.
You're what? You're rubbing?
We're not hanging out. We're repping.
Oh, you're repping.
Yeah.
Pat Moody is still here with us, and
he just won't go away, folks. Just won't go.
No,
away.
he's
supposed to be
Ken
working.
asked me to stay.
You
I
tell
do
him.
have some
You tell
friends,
him.
Johnny.
Yeah.
In case you haven't noticed, this is Team Up on Johnny Day.
I guess. I don't know what's going on.
Going
over
after
here.
So tell us about that experience where you called AAA and wanted to get a free tow, but it was because you wanted a designated driver.
No. That is not true.
Oh boy. Pat is a volunteer. He's a 6-time volunteer here for the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship. Do we need to go into anything right now?
We have an interview. The show. We gotta
we need to do
the rest of the show.
The guy is not on just yet.
Okay, so we got a couple minutes for a story. Okay, so Pat, yesterday we learned that John Daly withdrew. Yeah, from because of a thumb injury. Yeah. Did that any chatter on the course? I mean, I would imagine there were some spectators who were really looking, myself included, looking forward to seeing John Daly.
Well, that was because he was supposed to start on 10, I believe, and so a lot of people, rather than hiking up the hill to 10, they came around the other way, and they figured we'll catch him. We'll catch him coming in, you know, around 12, 13, and whatever. And so then, you know, they come and they go, that's not John Daly. You know, they recognize the other two, you know, but Stone was filling in that particular group. I don't know his first name. And people were like, well, what happened to him? Where is he? You know, and then they got the word that he had withdrawn.
Yeah,
so.
Mike Stone. One of the
Mark Calcavecchia came through 13 yesterday. And I saw later when I got home that he had withdrawn after 13. Wow. I'm like, oh, did we give you a bad cart ride? I mean, what? Down to 14.
Did you run over his foot, Pat?
No. We brought him from 13 down to 14. He got off and went on his merry way. But at that point, he must have said, I don't know if he got hurt or what.
Yeah, there was a couple. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that.
Yeah.
But then, I did see John Daly's cart. So Ken, if you want a cart, you could probably get John Daly's golf cart if you want.
All right. Let's see the key.
See how it's out.
Exactly. Exactly. But we do have our special guest that is on our live stream. Let's see if we can bring him in. Matt, you there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me and see me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We hear ya,
How
we
are
see
you?
ya. We're on the air.
Beautiful Lake Michigan behind me on hole 9. Just finished setting up for the morning. I'm happy to give you the answer to your questions you were just discussing as well.
Yeah, let's hear.
So Mark Calcavecchio he started on the back 9 yesterday. So he finished on after 13 holes towards the front. So he actually had made the turn and was picked up after the 5th hole, I believe, yesterday with an injury. And then the Michael Stone part was exciting, getting him out there as an alternate. It's always interesting when someone like John Daly withdraws. You've got people out there that are looking for him, and then of course an alternate going to the 10th tee at Harbor Shores is not the easiest thing in the world. So it was a fun drive from the clubhouse out to the 10th tee to get him up there yesterday.
How fast?
As fast as I can go. I've got a pretty fast rules cart.
That's great.
Matt, how does it work with alternates? Are they just kind of waiting in the wings for the possibility, kind of sitting on the bench waiting for their opportunity to join the field?
Yeah, so alternates, we have basically an on-site alternate when we get this close to the event, and what they can do is check in with one of the rules officials on either the 1st or 10th holes, and when we hear of a withdrawal, we'll try to communicate that as quickly as possible to the alternate. With unique host sites like this where the 10th tee isn't close to the clubhouse, then it's all about, do they want to take the chance to get over there in time? And in this case, I think we had about 19 minutes, which is plenty of time, but we just drove him out there, drove the caddy and the player out there and got him there on time. So it was exciting. He was very happy going out there. I know he was free and easy. He had a tough first hole and then bounced back with 2 birdies from what I heard.
Now, Matt Weinberger is joining us, and he is one of the senior directors of championships. Matt, as you said, you were near hole 9. What is your role during the week? What keeps you busy during this championship?
So for the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship, I got here last Monday, and a lot of what I did, what we call Advance Week. The week leading up, we're putting all the lines out for the rope and stake to help direct galleries around the golf course, choosing hole location plans, and then as that progresses throughout the week, we continue to monitor that until we eventually mark those hole locations for where the players will play each day. And then this morning, for instance, during each of the practice rounds and competition rounds, it's actually placing the tee markers out here, making sure the golf course is all prepped. It's evaluating the weather and the wind to make sure we're playing from the proper distances, checking all of our hole locations, and getting all the bunker rakes in the proper positions. So most of it from a setup perspective is now done, and then just checking in from a rules perspective, working with our PGA of America Rules Committee, who are stationed throughout the golf course to deal with things throughout the day.
Now, we're going to hope that it doesn't happen, but we're looking at the forecast for Sunday. Are you concerned at all? Are any adjustments going to be necessary, and when do you make that call, and what happens?
So we have an on-site meteorologist in our rules office at around the first hole there, and we're first worried about today. We want to make sure today is a great day and have the best championship yet. We're looking at potential rain later on this evening, so we want to make sure if we can get through today's round, that allows us to do the cut to 70 and ties for the weekend. And then anything a day plus out, we continue to work hour by hour with our meteorologist, but it's just too early to know. You don't want to jump to any conclusions too early.
Well, you've got an on-site meteorologist. Does this person travel around with you all around for the championships around the country?
They aren't a PGA of America staff member. We actually hire them. They're professionals. It's actually the same guy who was at the PGA Championship last week. So very, very well. They dealt with fog last week and some other. Yeah, exactly. You have rain. It was wet. Then you had fog last week. But we work with a service that they come on site and help us prepare. And it's good to have experts.
Talk about the coolest job you could ever have.
Right?
Weather person for the championships.
Does he get his own green screen? And when he does the meetings, he says, we've got some cool breezes rolling in from the south and things like that for you guys?
We'll take that as an idea for improvement.
Okay.
Like it.
He's got his own trailer with a big green screen in there. That's really cool. This has been an absolutely wonderful time. Great weather for this. And we actually are looking at the 14th tee box and seeing some of those players making their way over here. So it's pretty cool. Matt, were you surprised to see some of those scores? Because I feel like in years past, those first first rounds have had a little bit more higher score, a little more challenging for some of these players, but it seems that a number of them have done pretty well in this first round.
What I found is they're pretty good players, and when there's little to no wind yesterday, that's a big difference. So I think we'll see a little bit more of a breeze today. You can feel it. What's interesting as we look at that meteorologist report is some of the winds are shifting day by day with a front coming in today and the potential front on Sunday. So paying attention to wind direction and wind strength is definitely an element for what we'll see. If we look at the leaderboard, you can see what holes are playing harder than others, and a lot of that's contingent on that wind. I think hole 9 yesterday was playing downwind, so a lot of players were going for the green in 2, whereas today it'll be a little bit more of a crosswind, maybe even into you a little bit.
How many steps have you been counting these past few days? Because I'm sure you've been walking the course, much like a lot of the players and a lot of people that are joining the galleries to follow these players. A lot of steps, I'm sure.
Luckily, we have a golf cart to get around for rulings, but I will say the one day that I was getting the rope line set up, it was 18 miles. Not that I was counting.
Whoa, wow, that's a lot. Any interesting rulings so far this year?
I would say whenever you have temporary structures like you guys are around on 14 and really 15 through 18, any of those TV towers, temporary movable obstructions are always interesting. We have to make sure we get the players in a spot where they can continue to play. But ultimately, it's normal rulings you see week to week, embedded balls or anything else, unplayables, normal stuff.
Okay, and you've seen some of the best courses probably around in the world. How do we rate with Harbor Shores?
Harbor Shores is a great track. I mean, this is my first time that I've run the championship. I've been out here 2 times in the last 6-7 months to check on the progress of the course. Matt Volrath, the superintendent, has done an excellent job. It's firm and fast out there. From all accounts, talking to some players and caddies and tournament staff that have been here for the previous 5 times prior, I think this course right now is about as good a shape as it's been. I think the greens are challenging. It's a great championship speed, and I think the players are being tested. We'll see how the scores that you mentioned, they were lower yesterday with some of the wind. We'll see how it impacts scores today, but I think it'll be a great championship.
And then one last question about the weather piece. If it rains tonight while everyone is sleeping, what does that do for the players tomorrow? How does that challenge them? What changes?
Well, I think if the softer the golf course, it can play a little bit longer. Right now, a little bit more firm and fast. But I think what we would just look at is we'd work with the superintendent and his team to evaluate if there's any additional work in terms of prepping the golf course. You guys see all the cotton flying around, so we have to make sure that's blown off the greens.
That's what we're having for breakfast today.
We got a snow globe on 14 that it's a unique challenge. I think everywhere we go across the country, there's something unique about it. But honestly, it's been wonderful. I think the evenings have been just about as nice as I've seen at any golf course the last 10 days, besides the one storm we had come through.
That's great.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, Matt Weinberger, one of the senior directors of championships from you're at hole 9 still?
Hole 9.
Hole 9. Yep. Thank you so much. And
there's the lake for you.
Good luck to all the players that as they're teeing off and making their way towards us. But you can make your way towards us as well if you're coming here as a spectator. srpga.com is where you can find the full list of all the stuff going on. But download that PGA app as well. That way you can see all the cool stuff that's going on and get notified of all that stuff. But, Matt, thank you so much for joining us.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
You too.
Coming up here in just a few minutes, we got a lot of other things to get to. We'll catch you up with news, sports, and a whole lot more.
There is a place in Southwest Michigan where a fresh and innovative daily brunch and dinner menu will delight you, where craft cocktails and
all right.
That was fun.
That was great. He's a great dude. Able to catch up with him and some other great people.
Had we to do it over again, should we become meteorologists for sporting events?
I think that would be a fun gig. It would be a challenging gig because, of course, in the community, if the meteorologist is wrong, you got people in the community bashing them. But just imagine the field of 156 that says, you said this was going to be like this, and it was the total opposite.
Yeah.
So, you'd be up close and personal with some of those players and probably not. They probably wouldn't be nice to you if you get something wrong. But no, it would be a fun gig.
I feel like there should be a movie about like the golf championship meteorologist.
Just that?
Yeah, just that person's life.
Short movie.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It'd just be like,
I was thinking like an epic, like a 3-hour Dune type movie.
No, I think it'd be more like
it's gonna be blustery today.
It would be like the guy from Family Guy.
It was
that
the
would just
perfect
be-
storm for the golfers.
No, the guy from Family Guy would say, "It's gonna rain." Everybody looks like ants.
Love that.
All right. That about does it for the live stream. Thank you, everybody that has joined us this whole week for our live broadcasts. Thank you so much to all the people that have been stopping by and saying, hey, it's been a fun week, but setting up and tearing down this has been a bear. So we're going to do that, but we still got a lot of show left to do. We do have Furry Friends Friday coming up here in just a few minutes and some other things as well.
Yep.
But man, gotta try and pack everything in this morning.
Yeah,
but
we'll be back in the studio next week, so please tune in. We appreciate you.
All right, here, and here. Bye, everybody. Good weekend.